How much longer is this going to take? Cue it from Madagascar.
How long is this going to take?
How much longer is it going to take? Shane Bowen being the defensive coordinator of this team, how much more time do we need to give the man? How many more games do we need to watch this defense play to really understand that Shane Bowen probably should not be the guy leading this defense? When you look at it, Shane Bowen can get fired tomorrow, and I'm not telling you that the next man up is going to be a lot better, but I promise you I'm not too sure how much worse it can get. The defense this year, it's been terrible. It's been terrible when you think about where this defense should be. When you think about the type of defensive line that we have, the front four that we talked about all offseason. And yeah, you can make the argument, man. We've been saying this for year after year after year, but especially after this one. What makes this year different is that we invested in free agency, we invested in the draft, and we really said Shane Bowen last year was dealing with bad players. Let's give him the players and let's see how it works out. I don't blame Joe Shane for doing that, even though we can go at certain players that they targeted. But I don't blame Joe Shane for doing that. But to sit here and look at what the team is doing now, last two performances we gave up 30 points. One of them was in one quarter. But last two performances we got blown off the field by the offense on the other side of the ball. The collapse with the Broncos we talked about last week. Listen, you haven't seen me since last week. I've been sick, and I'm telling y'all right now, after Sunday, I feel even worse. Physically, I feel better. But with this team and how I was feeling sick, man, I feel worse. But sticking on the defense, man. Giving up 38 points, but also giving up almost 300 rushing yards is abysmal. The run defense has been a problem for years. And honestly, I just don't know when it'll stop. When will we actually be average at stopping the run? We knew that was going to be our Achilles heel this year. Doesn't matter what type of front four you have. If they're not put in a position to stay ahead, to pin their ears back and get after the quarterback, if they can't stop the run, and they still can't stop the run. Micah McFadden is not on this team, but dang, the depth behind Micah McFadden is unplayable. Bobby Okereke has not been playing well. Darius Musow, he's just not a good linebacker. But these DBs, they also just can't tackle. Tyler Nubin, I expected so much out of him this year, and he's just been bad. There's a stat right now that he's missed the most tackles at the safety position. And if anyone didn't know, majority of the time when you're playing safety, nobody's behind you. So if you're missing the tackle, you can imagine what else happens after you miss the tackle. Tyler Nubin has been that bad this year. I expect him to be the X factor of this team. You signed on Javon Holland. With the young guy with Javon Holland, I expected him to take strides, and it just hasn't happened. This defense has been bad, and when you think about everyone talking about this team being a top 10 unit, a top 15 unit, some people thought it would be a top 5 unit, and I don't blame you. When you have Abdul Carter, Kayvon Thibodeau, Dexter Lawrence, and Brian Burns is leading the league in sacks. He has 10 sacks through 8 weeks. Yet here we are. Shane Bowen has to go. I don't know how much longer it'll take. Is it going to take losing to the 49ers by potentially Mac Jones to break the camel's back? And for anyone that's like, wait a minute, we're only 7 weeks in. Brian Daboll should be gone, and he's not gone. If they're not firing Brian Daboll, they shouldn't fire. Listen, I don't need to hear any of that. The Titans fired their head coach after the first couple weeks. The first couple weeks with the number 1 pick quarterback playing for them. This defense got poured in the most money on the team. You've invested so much draft-wise and financially into this defense for it to be a bottom 3 unit in the league. Go at all the metrics. Scoring, passing yards, rushing yards. This team, this defense is at the bottom of the barrel in every single category. Yet we're going to continue to let Shane Bowen, man, a Brian Burns, a Dexter Lawrence, and Abdul Carter, Kayvon Thibodeau. I still remember when Shane Bowen got brought on. We're going to stop the run on the way to stopping the pass. On the way to getting the quarterback, we're going to stop the run. We're still waiting on it, Shane. We are still waiting on it. Some of it, the players have to perform, and I completely understand. As a fan, We get a little emotional and we like to blame the coach a lot, but at the end of the day, players do have to perform. We have the arguments where we can say a Broncos blown lead. I don't put that necessarily all on the players. That's definitely the coach. But when you get outclassed by the Eagles, who made their adjustments, I'll give them their credit. They made their adjustments. We whooped them in our house, went over to Philly. They made their adjustments. They hung up 38 on us. But when I talk about the players, when Brian Byrne gets a sack in the 2nd and 31 and you give up a first down on the very next play, not to Saquon. Saquon Barkley didn't break off that run. Tank Bigsby. What are we doing out there, man? What are we doing out there? It's bad to know that the rookie quarterback that got thrown in after Russell Wilson couldn't man down the position, the rookie quarterback is getting thrown in, and he's keeping us in games, but the defense is blowing it. The defense is not doing their part. It feels like the Giants can never get to a point where both sides of the ball are doing their part. If it's the offense not firing in all cylinders, the defense is at least bringing them up to surface level, and you see it be a close game. If the defense is not doing their part, the offense is up there trying to put up points. But it's never both. And as we know, that ingredient right there is a bad team. But when you speak on specifically the expectations heading into this year, we all expected this defense to be good. We all expected this D-line to be dominant. That's what our expectations were. Everyone was worried about Shane Bowen. I'll be honest. I tried to look past Shane Bowen because I wanted our players to perform. But yeah, it's about that time. I'm not the only person to make this type of video. I'm not the only person to make these type of comments. But my question is just simply how much longer is it going to take? It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. We're heading into week 8. We're at the halfway mark of the season. There's only so much weeks left. There's only so many games left. Brian Burns is dominating. But Brian Daboll is probably on his way out as well. If you're trying to, save your job somehow, some way, are you going to continue to let that coach be out there? You got Brian Daboll yelling at the defensive coach in the middle of a game. Are you going to continue to let this stuff happen? They're all lost causes, man. They are. They really are. And when I say that, I mean the coaching staff. I do believe if the right coaches are in the building, this defense and this offense will be looking a lot more different. I'm not even trying to focus on the offense. The offense has been surprisingly good these last couple games. But when you think about this defense and how much investments we've made, there's a lot of more units over the NFL that don't have the talent that we have, but they perform a lot better. Coaches are put in the position to succeed, and the Giants just simply don't have that. But am I tripping? Let me know. Y'all let me know down in the comments, man. Appreciate y'all for weighing on me. If you're watching this video, man, once again, I've been a little bit sick. We'll be diving into the 49ers this week because the Giants do take on the 49ers. I had to get my little rant off when I'm talking about this defense because it's terrible. It's terrible feeling as a fan. Prayers go out to Cam Scatterbo. He did have surgery and everything looks well, but obviously he's going to be out for the rest of the year. That's just another thing that made me sick, man. But we'll unpack that on another video, man. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Let me know down below your comments, and I'll catch y'all. Peace.